Oh, wow. That is too zoomed in. Oh, okay. That's because yesterday I was testing this. Okay. Better? Yes, hopefully. Testing the mic. Mic is working. And good morning. Dropping links. Hello. Why not? Wait. Does YouTube allow you to send links? Test it. If it does, hello and good my morning to you, and good evening. Yeah, good evening to you, but good morning to me, if you know what I mean. If it doesn't let you, I mean, you could send it on Discord, but I don't know if you are on Discord. Yeah. I think I allow it, but let me double check. So moderation is not on. I don't see any settings that is like in my hand right now. Good evening to, thank you. Thank you. Good morning to your evening. Exactly. That's lovely. Yeah. So could you not send it? There's a way to send links that breaks the link, and then the person can copy it and paste it and keep the link. I've done that before. Oh really? So I forgot. Hi Coffee, good morning to maybe your, I don't know what time it is on your side, maybe like noon. Yeah, I don't like the fact that good night means like go to sleep. It's not like, oh, it's a lovely night, and good noon does not even exist. Yeah, I suppose it's the same in my language as well, so let's not fight about it. I knew somewhere it allowed something, I just forgot where it was. So apparently Twitch is more relaxed about the, I mean, I know I've turned off not the thing somewhere, just wasn't sure where. Okay, so I was, where are we? Oh no, eesh, that is not what I'm supposed to be doing. High noon makes one. Oh, full moon. Wait, yesterday was the full moon? I mean, I saw the moon. I just failed to notice, which is sad. Yeah, high noon is like a time, right? Okay. So let me share. Go back. Let's look at my screen, because I thought I would run the code of like last time, but then I failed because there's a trainer.train somewhere, which should not happen. But we're here to look at errors, so we should be fine. I forgot where exactly we were, so I went back and looked at the last stream, and apparently stop and smell. No, timer. I did stop and smell the moon. I did. I am very, very in tune with the moon because like I'm sure you know, but I'll say it anyway. First, let's say first 14 to normally 7, but like first 14 days, you can see the moon in the afternoon. Last 14 days, you can see it in the morning. So like when the moon is visible to the eye, which is normally on the second day, not the first day, I look for it. And you can see it during the sunset. And then like 3-4 days later, you can see it like at 4, my time, 4 p.m. or like sometimes you can see it. I have taken a picture of the moon at like 2 p.m. or like even, I don't know, 1. I don't think so. But like I just try to find the moon when it's in the sky, and I have this app that tells me when the moon rises. So I love the moon. I do try and stop and smell the moon. I really do. But when I get back from work, I just plop down and stop existing as a normal human being. But like when I'm at work and sometimes I go outside, first thing I do is look for the moon if it's out, which it normally always isn't. But when it is, it makes me happy. Yes. I learned about the cycle of the moon, when it can be seen where, and yeah. Sun on one horizon, moon on the other. When it's on the 14th, they are opposite sides of each other, full moon time. Yeah. And the moon rises, should be around sunset, but probably later, like 1 hour after sunset. I'm not sure. Yes. I love the moon. I talked way too much about the moon. I'm trying to justify why I did not give too much time to the moon yesterday. It was cloudy. It was lovely. Like it had a scary vibe, which I love. Okay. So, apparently I was in the evaluating the model section, and I think I said it before, and I'll say it again, that I really want to start the next HuggingFace courses that are available, but I am I'm stopping myself because I need to get to the end of this one. Otherwise, it's not fair. Yes. Oh, it wasn't too cloudy. I saw it. I really like it. Had this when the moon is full, most of the time you can see the halo, right? And the halo was like with clouds. But actually, why did I go outside? I'm still thinking. Because I needed, okay, yeah, I remember it. Because I needed to come to this room, and yeah, yesterday I streamed as well. There was one time where I looked up and I saw like a sliver of the moon because it was so cloudy. So yeah, it's good enough reason. Okay. I talked your head off. Sorry. Yes. So we talked about CUDA out of memory was the last thing we talked about, and now we're talking about evaluating the model. And before I start, this section looks like the last technical section in this section, because the next one is how to write a good issue, and then end of chapter quiz, basically. This part, that would be fun, about Gradio. I love Gradio. Okay, that's going to be fun. We're going to do this one as well. And then I don't know what this is. Curate high quality data set. Yes. We'll see if I'm going to do this or if I'm going to skip this part, but I like the building and sharing demos part. Moon TED Talk. I was talking about the moon calendar with Z, because I was like, Ramadan is on the moon calendar. And she was like, oh, that would be so fun to make a stream dedicated to that. So yeah, she's got more qualifications to talk about physics things than me. But yeah. Yeah, that's why, I mean, not exactly why I am more in tune about the moon, but like on a normal day-to-day, if you ask me what's the day of the Arabic calendar, I could tell you. So yeah, that could be why as well. Yeah, because people in the Arab world don't use the Arabic calendar. I don't know which country uses it, but Like, it's like the Islamic calendar in a way. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. Yes. Looking forward to Ramadan. Like almost like 50, it's in 15 days, right? Because the moon is 15 days away to end. You know what I mean. It's the full moon. Yeah. Models. Something about models. Evaluating the model. Now that you've solved all the issues with, we've solved the issues with our code. Like whatever the issues was, like get more GPU, wasn't it, basically? Yeah, well, reduce batch size. Okay. Use a smaller version. Everything is perfect. And the training should run smoothly, right? Nope, not so fast. If we do the trainer.train command, everything will look good at first, but after a while, you'll get the following. Nothing is more cruel than running your code and waiting for like, I don't know, like hours, and then realizing that there's an error. Only size 1 arrays can be converted. Size -1. Oh, to Python scalar. I do not understand the error. Okay. You will realize this error appears during the evaluation phase. How do we realize it? Did we look at the? I don't see the error. Like there is no going back to something. Okay, sorry about that. So this is the last thing we need to debug. You can run the evaluation loop. Trainer.evaluate. Cool. Independently. Why didn't I know this could be done? And then same error. Should always make sure you can run trainer.evaluate before launching trainer.train. To avoid wasting, time. I know. And also other resources. Before attempting to debug a problem in the evaluation loop, you should first make sure you've had a look at the data, are able to form a batch properly. Oh, we tested that last time as well. Like, can batches happen? You can run your model on it. You've completed all of these steps, so the following code can be executed without an error. For batch like this. Hold up. Oh, I was like, wait, how can you use the batch when you break the for loop? But it's actually another loop. All right. I mean, I'm not gonna run those things because my code just crashed on me, and I need to like go and check each section where I need to. Hold up. See, we have trainer.train everywhere. And I think it's gonna rain. I can hear the pitter patter. I really love the rain. Okay. The error comes later at the end of the evaluation phase, and if we look at trace back, we can see this self info feature. Oh, so it's a batch problem. This tells us that the error originates in the dataset where? Here. metric.py module. So this is a problem with our compute metrics function. Oh, all right. I'm double checking that the stream is still streaming. Yep. Okay. Because yesterday it cut off like 3 times. I've made some evaluations by scratch. Whoa, 100%, but need to parse out longer questions before they lower it to 80. Okay. So to parse longer text, did you try batching it. I think that's what the thing is that it does. It splits it and then has this overlap thing. Where was it? Last thing we answered was in the main NLP tasks, and answering question part was had this thing about longer context, which means like where the answer of the question should be. I really haven't done much from scratch, mostly like using other people's tools and stuff to just test it out, mostly, yeah. So I sort of envy you. Like, yeah. So it takes a tuple with the logits and the labels as logits labels. Okay. NumPy array. So let's try and feed it that. Okay. So we're basically doing each step by hand. Like you need to know which step is being run, because if you just run trainer.train, it's a black box, you know? And not knowing what goes where is a problem. So here's our predictions. Here's our labels. Compute.metric. Here you go. Oh, okay. So we're just normally running compute.metric. Still error. Is the error in the predictions? Because I think our labels were fine. I mean, how do I know? We should check. Oh, labels? We get the same error, so the problem definitely lies with that function. If we look back at its code, we can just forwarding the predictions and the labels to it, yes. So there's a is there a problem with the method? No. Look at the shape of the data. Yeah, you can do either or, because you need to do both. Shape of predictions is 8x3, but shape of labels is 8x1, right? Our predictions are still logits, not actual predictions, which is why it is returning this somewhat obscure error. The fix is pretty easy. We just have to add an argmax. Really? Where? For predictions, we take on axis 1, which is rows, columns. What is axis? No, it's column, rows, because axis, is it axis 0, 1, or is it 1, 2? Anyway, it worked. So it was with our function. I mean, it was because of the data, but still it is with our function. Now that our error is fixed, this was the last one. So it should work properly. Here is a completely fixed script. Should we take a look at it? Like, for example, I think here some of the things had issue with loading. There was something we didn't have the padding part. And so we can actually run this. Okay, I'm gonna try and, where was it? Here. I'm going to absolutely stop trainer.train, but try and run this, and something should work. Are you going to ask me for something? Because last time, oh, it's done. From there, even trainer is available. So if I do trainer.evaluate, it might work because we fixed it. Sorry about that. Well, 16 minutes. Okay, it's gonna take longer. Just in case you see the drop frames, we lost you for a bit. Oh no. I'm back and a little bit stuttery. I did not even notice. Am I still stuttery? Because we have like 4% dropped frames. Is that a lot? I don't know. When I'm getting this information, I'm assuming it's not that bad. If it's like 50%, then okay, that's a lot. But like right now it's 3.8. Hopefully it will continuously go down. I don't know when I'm running the code if it affects anything, but I know when I'm streaming, I'm guessing OBS is heavy. The thing it affects is the HDMI cable. My second screen is always flickering. It is a little bit annoying. I've thought about getting another HDMI cable just to see if that is the problem. But I'm really used to it now, the flickering. Cause like normally it's fine. And then, yeah, I think it's when I press start streaming, it becomes, I don't know, I suppose too much data. So there are no more problems. Our script will fine tune a model that should give reasonable results. But what can we do when the training proceeds without any error and the model does not perform well at all? That's the hardest part of machine learning. We'll show you a few techniques that could help. Awesome. If you're using a manual training loop, same steps apply to your debug, to debugging the training pipeline. It's easier to separate them. Make sure you have not forgotten model.eval or model.train at the right places. Zero grad at each step. Why is there an however like this? However. Isn't however supposed to, something should come after it? Shouldn't affect the HDMI. Maybe trying wiggling the cable? I've done it, and if I do it right now, everything will go chaos. Yes, so when I lift it higher, it's fine. But the annoying part is, honestly, like, listen, same cable, different laptop, because right now I'm using a Mac. When I use a normal laptop, which is not a Mac, and I plug it in, it's fine. It shares the screen to the second screen, no flickering. I go to Spotify.com or I open the Spotify app, it starts flickering. Like, I wish I knew what's the problem. It's either Spotify or streaming. Those two cause it to flicker crazy. And if I mess with it right now, it will mess with, like, it might make me not see the second screen, which then I won't be able to see chat, which is going to be annoying. But isn't that interesting? Oh. Typing? Oh, sorry. I'm not really typing right now. Is the flickering okay for my eyes? Like I said, I'm sort of used to it. Right now, the type of flickering is that the whole screen becomes purple at sometimes. Pinkish. Like that's the flickering. Sometimes it would just like go dark and then come back. So it has phases. Sorry, I thought you said trying. I just auto-corrected you. But I'm not typing right now and it's flickering, so yeah. I really thought that it's just the cable is not fine, but then sometimes, like just before starting the stream, it was fine, honestly. So it is very weird. Like the Spotify part, I am just like, the other day, someone was here with me in the room and I was like, Isha, actually no, they were not in the room with me. I messaged them about it. I was like, when I turn on Spotify, the screen goes crazy. And they were like, because it doesn't want you to listen to crazy music. I was like, fine. Anyway. Oh, magnets. Oh. But it really is when I turn on Spotify for the other laptop. I've tested it bajillion times. So sometimes I'm like, I'll just turn it on, play it on my phone, or just listen to YouTube music. Honestly, I don't know if there are any magnets. I don't think so. Because, like, there are a lot of cables. But, yeah. I have this figurine here. I don't think so. Not as far as I know. If the table that I mean, the screen is not exactly on the table, but if it was, and if there were magnets around it, I don't think so. It's funny, isn't it? Like, yeah. Yes. Like, I don't think so. No. I'm gonna say no. If I have a TV with a different, I do. There are, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, yep. That's a fair point. It's been like a year since I changed the cable, I guess. But what I'm thinking is that I had a not really good cable, and then I did the switching with a cable that was working fine with our TV. Because sometimes I just plug in the laptop to the TV and play something. Yeah. We have a couple of cables for, at least there are 3 at least. And I'm very sure I've tested another one. I don't know. You know what? Because like the things that I'm using are almost the best things that I have in this house. I don't know what that is. I think tend to be resistant to What is the thing that you wrote? Cables with this thingy? What's this thingy? I'm gonna Google it just in case it makes. Oh, that thing at the end. Ooh, nice. For those in the chat, those things at the end. Yeah, little cylinder. What about main cable? Okay, see that is possible. There could be magnets with the cables. That's fair. Does this thing have magnets? Whoa, look at that. Huh. Does it? I mean, most of the times, charging cables have them. Type of iron. Oh, like ferrite? How does one read this? Okay, so they do. But someone explained the part where, where streaming and Spotify mess with it. That's where. Honestly, it is, the HDMI cable is pretty close to other charging cables. So there's this type of somewhat magnetism. Yeah. Thank you for helping me debug this. Okay. Oh, it's called a choke. It chokes off RF. Something frequency? Can you hear the dog bark? It's really loud. Can help if the issues, the problem is the interference, but we don't know that. I'm not that bothered by it. Yeah. I can see the chat, I can stream. Sometimes when it cuts off and I'm like, well, I'm running blind right now, but it's like for 3-5 seconds, and then I'm like, whew, it's bad. I mean, it's back, not bad. Okay, I also hope that the Mac chip is not going bad. No, because I've had the issue Windows and Mac. I'm guessing it's not the laptop. Toroids. Fun names. I have seen them, I just didn't know what they were. Toroids. Yeah. The I is on the other side. Cool. Yes. I also do the touch wood sometimes. Okay, I'll go back to studying. Last joke. When I say touch wood, like I used to So touch wood, you knock the wood, right? Oh, it's knock on wood. Oh, that's different. Anyway, knock on wood instead of touch wood, which is the same thing in my brain. I would hit my head because there's hay in my head, and then hay is technically wood. That's the joke. Solid purple or patterned. Oh, it just stopped. You talked about, oh, it's back. It's, I can't really see it because it's flickering, but it's a pinkish purple, and I feel like there should be some green somewhere. Yeah, it's flickering. But honestly, now it's getting way better. Oh, it's back. See? Yeah. Sometimes it's like I am in therapy about something that has been happening for a long time, but I did not talk about it. Oh, wow, you have information. Radio license? Ooh. Radio is really cool. The fact that you can just pick people's information up. I guess internet is also somewhat like that, but yeah. Oh, touch wood is more, knock on wood is more American. Got it. Yeah, in Arabic it's dak ala khashab, which is the same thing. So we have it. Okay. I think I'm gonna go back to learning. Thank you so much. I don't really know what changes I could do because I'm not gonna change my setup. The thing that I could do is test a different HDMI cable. That's a very fair point. And if I go to a place where they sell cables, I might buy it, because you always need more cable. Okay. Debugging silent errors. Oh, we just talked about it, didn't we? No, we did not. Okay. So we're starting here. Someone tell me that having a however at the end of a sentence does not make sense, right? Because however is something that then, however, do this, Debugging silent errors during training. What can we do to debug a training that completes without error? Did we just not talk about that? Yeah, in this part. Okay. But does not get good results. We'll give you some pointers here, but be aware that this kind of debugging is the hardest part of machine learning. There is no magical answer. Checking the data again and again and again. I think that's something in Islam. I will need to definitely confirm it. It could be a cultural thing where it's check your house 7 times before you accuse someone of stealing. I think that's the actual thing, but here, check your data again. It's check your data 7 times before you accuse a different part of your code of error, which is, yes, check the data again and again. Your model will only learn something if it's actually possible to learn anything from your data. If your data is trash in, trash out, basically. If there's a bug that corrupts the data or labels are attributed randomly, that's very likely to get any model. It's likely you won't get any model training on the dataset. Always start by double checking your decoded inputs and labels, and ask, did I not say hi to Michael? I just realized that because I saw chat. Yeah. Hi, Silent Michael. Swap monitor first if you can. Get a different monitor? Oh, yeah, why not? You know what? I have a similar-ish, this is LG, I don't know what the other one is, monitor in a different room that is being used. And the flickering when I use HDMI doesn't happen because I'm not streaming on those monitors. So what I could do is test the Spotify thing, because those are the 2 instances where it happens. I could test the Spotify thing on the other monitors. So swapping cables, swapping monitors. Good thinking. Thank you. Should do that. Yes, there's strength in numbers. And you guys are helping me come up with ways to debug this problem. Thank you. Is the decoded data understandable? Do you agree with the labels? Is there one label that's more common than the others? Example being NA, right? What should the loss metric be if the model predicted a random answer, always the same answer? I don't know how to answer that last question. If you're doing distributed training, print samples of your data set in each process and triple check that you get the same thing. One common bug is to have some source of randomness in the data creation that makes each process have a different version of. Oh, wow. That is interesting. After looking at your data, go through a few of the model's predictions and decode them too. I mean, it's good to have checks and checks. And like doing something manually, even if it's 0.01%, and then have your model do the thing same way. If the model is always predicting the same thing, it might be because your data set is biased towards one category. For classification problems, techniques like oversampling rare classes might help. So creating synthetic data, right? Oh wait, no, oversampling as in, okay. Distributing the weights of the samples, okay. If the loss / metric you get on your initial model is very different from what is expected from random predictions, double check the way your loss metric is computed, as there is probably a bug there. If you are using several losses that you add at the end, make sure they're on the same scale. Okay. This is still running, right? Wow, our eval is like evaling. 10 seconds left. When you are sure your data is perfect, no data is ever perfect. You can see if the model is capable of training on, yes, a test set. Simple test. Overfit your model on one batch. Wait, that's an error, right? Paste, what? Okay, I mean, I know copying this will only make it be partially available, so I am not scared of doing that. You're gonna send it there? Merci. Nice, we actually have some stuff. Accuracy, runtime. Cool. Overfitting is usually something we try to avoid when training. As it means the model is not learning to recognize the general features we want it, but it's just memorizing the training samples. However, trying to train your model on one batch over and over again is good to test. Good test to check if the problem as you framed it can be solved by the model you're attempting to train. Yeah, I suppose doing different types of like subset of the data to test stuff. Yeah, it will also help you see if your initial learning rate is too high. That is something I never know. I don't know how to set a learning rate. Okay, I'm gonna give myself a 10-second break of drinking water before I lose my ability to talk. Okay, you can read the text without me in the meantime. we're back. That was not 10 seconds, as far as I know. Doing this once you have you have defined your trainer is really easy. Just grab a batch of training data, then run a small manual training loop, only using the batch for something like 20 steps. So that's like a test run. Can I do that? Can we do this? 20 for range in 20. Okay, got it. Yeah, no, I didn't run parts of the code. And I wanna, oh, I have to log in. Cool, cool. If the training data is unbalanced, make sure to build a batch of training data containing all labels. Okay. Hi. Hello. Do some website maintenance work as, oh, that is so cool. I feel like I never asked about you because I think I said that before, but yeah, we were deep in conversation, so sorry for not saying hi. But I've said before, saying that your name is Silent Michael, so I feel really like I am violating asking about you. But if that's all right with you, let me know. Website maintenance. What is there something wrong, or are you trying to update something? I'm sorry that you are listening to me as like you're lurking. Sometimes, yeah, I should apologize because I'm not as entertaining as I should be. I try to crack jokes, but I don't think they ever land. The answer I keep finding to learning rates are use the defaults. Could not agree with you more. Use what someone else has, like, 100% agree with you. Thank you for agreeing with my brain answer. Like, if a number is there, I'm gonna use it. If I do something new, I'm gonna copy paste your number and not gonna change it ever. Yeah, for the model architecture and size, yeah. Or do a neural architecture search with small. So yeah, maybe, like, if you have the resources and time, you could run it multiple times with different learning rates, but just to see if it makes a difference, poke at it. Yeah. Anyway, hi again to Michael. Oh no, my streaming was yellow just now. Did we become stuttery? Most of the time the video becomes stuttery, not the audio, right? I have been using a different setup, which I actually like. YouTube is like, your streaming is bad. Sorry, YouTube. Okay, what was I saying? Trying to monitor. What is this? Oh, okay. So I'm using a different setup, where now the chat is not coming to, oh, no, you're right. Something, yeah. People who voted twice based on IP and agency and stuff. We wouldn't know anything about that. Thank you for reminding me to ask people to vote for the video. I'm gonna shamelessly do that for charity. This is my video. All right, so commercial break, which is for Project for Awesome. It's the streaming is supposed to start in 12 hours. Nice. Can you believe that they have already raised 500,000? Nerd fighters are awesome. 61 people. Oh, that's votes. Okay, but yeah, this is money. This is votes. So the thing about Project for Awesome. Okay, so you were aware of the problem that we were sharing in Discord. You know what? one thing that I say at work, which is like, if problems arise, did I say that correctly? Anyway, giving me more work means I won't be kicked out of work, which is not a bad thing, especially in this economy. So I made a video for Project for Awesome, and the thing about Project for Awesome is that the amount of money they raised, I checked the frequently asked questions, I think, or I saw it somewhere on Discord, saying, yes, 50% of the money goes to charities selected by the organizers. The other 50% goes to charities where videos are created and they get votes. So number of votes equals percentage of money going to that charity. So yeah, mine is for UNRWA, and they did put UNRWA USA as a default, but yeah, UNRWA, which is the UN for Palestine organization. Where is Palestine in UNRWA? That's a good question. I'm asking myself, by the way, because it's the UN refugee. No, I don't think that's refugee. Hold up. I read this very recently. Relief. There we go. And Works Agency. So that's what UNRWA stands for. Cool. And then for Palestinian refugees in the Near East. And yeah, so please vote. It's a 1 vote per device. I will now go back to that. But it's pretty cool. It's by, this is by Hank Green and John Green. I'm sure people know about them because of VidCon, creators of VidCon. Yeah. Yep. And the voting is till 19th, I think. Yeah, 11th to 19th. So it's more than this time here. Yes. That's it. That was all the break that I did. We had. Next. So the resulting model should have close to perfect results on the same batch. Right. Let's compute the metric on the resulting predictions. Did I run this? Yes, and the error was that I had not run the previous code, so it doesn't even know what device is. I mean, I could tell it what device is. Okay, let's do that. This is device. And then if we go back with the code run, let's see. Cool. Wouldn't this take more than a few minutes? I guess the Project for Awesome organization makes sense. Yeah, they are a USA charity, and they would easily be able to give it to the USA part of UNRWA. I agree with you. And yeah, my video is under education, because for me, it was rebuilding and education. Those two are important to the current state of Palestine. Assuming there will be less war, and rebuilding would have an outcome. But yeah, you can say, please use this money for education, or please use this for development. It's called earmarking. I learned this very recently. I mean, recently enough. Because states can do that. Yeah, for example, states like the United States can just not give you money and say, okay, thanks, bye. Which is what is happening currently, and why we need to help organizations a bit more. Yeah. So, 100% accuracy, that's not good, but yeah, it's a nice example of overfitting, meaning that if you try on any other thing, it will give you the wrong answer. True. If you don't manage to have your model obtain perfect results like this, it means there is something wrong with you. I mean, the way you frame the problem on, or yeah, the data. This ran nice, and we should have 100% accuracy. Yes. Awesome. And we should fix that. When you manage to pass the overfitting test, then you can have your model learn something. Nice. You will have to recreate your model and your trainer after this test. As now it won't be able to recover and learn. Yeah, it's already learned. Oh my god, I forgot to copy and paste the link. Sorry. Hold up, do I still have it in my clipboard? I do not have it in my clipboard. I'm gonna get it. You know what I love about using a Mac? That there isn't a history for clipboards. I mean, I'm being sarcastic. This is the actual link to my video, but you have the choice to choose a different video because it's, you are a human and you can make different choices. You might think there's a different organization that aligns to your voting. I think I will be, I know I will be donating during the stream, but let's see how that goes. I was like, why donate when there's no one to thank me? That is so selfish. Okay. Don't tune anything until you have the first baseline. Hyperparameter tuning is always emphasized as being the hardest part of machine learning. You keep saying this is the hardest part of machine learning. Now you just made it, everything is the hardest part of machine learning. But it's just the last step. To help you gain, changing those numbers like learning rate, right. Gain a little bit on the metric. Most of the time, default parameters, yes. You don't like clipboard history? Oh, definitely Windows has clipboard history if you are currently on a Windows. I don't know. You press Windows and V, and most of the time it's not enabled by default, but when you enable it, it is so good. Like what I would do, pat myself on the shoulder. Okay, pat. I haven't donated to P4A yet, so yes. Something that I patted myself on the shoulder for literally less than 12 hours ago was I don't like gifting. I don't like getting gifts. I don't like gifting things to people. I don't know people that well to give gifts, even if it's my sister. But I haven't given the gift, but I was like, I'm gonna give you this gift to someone, and they got so happy. I was like, oh my god, this is really contagious. I should do this more. So yeah, that was like a pat on the shoulder because the person hugged me. Okay, I'll stop saying how good of a person I am. My salary is good, so I can give gifts apparently. So Windows V is the clipboard history, and sometimes, like an example that I use it a lot for, when I want to add hypertext on, like, let's say a Word document, I copy the text, I copy the link at the same time, and then I go paste the text and then add the link. I don't need to go back and forth because I have clipboard history. Got it? Microsoft harvests clipboard data feverishly. That is a really good word. Like right now, those people, the tech, I suppose oligarchs, are good at doing things feverishly without our knowledge. Yeah. Wasn't there the monitoring your screen thing that was then became an opt-in instead of an opt-out? That was like really recent. They have access to everything. Like, yeah. Fun. Absolutely fun. Dropped frame rates is 6% now. I hope it's still normal enough. Let's try and monitor the stream. Movement looks fine. If I listen, you will hear the audio, which will be annoying. Yes, exactly. LOL is all we can do. So we said let's start from the defaults and work, which will work fine, give us results. So there is no need to launch. But is it? and opt out? You don't know. That's a good question. They already have access to everything. I mean, if they're feeling generous that day, maybe. Or if it's like they have too much data and there's no space on their servers, you know? That was to be local AI. Was a terrible idea. The thing about the thing, I mean, we will have AI that will be able to use your computer, agentic AI. So everything that the AI will do, it will save as well. So yeah. 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 You know, I think I was watching this video about previously places used to be, wait, was it places? Like equating third, what is it called? Third thing? Because like your home is the first place, work is the second place, or if you're studying school, and then there's the third place. Yeah, they're called third places, where you like hang out with people. It could be a park, it could be like a fun street that everybody goes to, or it could be a coffee shop, and like third places are basically don't exist. Oh wow. Yeah, we already know it's your birthday. You are only allowed to opt out on your birthday, but at the 12th hour. If you're not awake, your fault. Yeah. So they were saying how now third places are basically social media, and it's not, you don't have, like, it's, you don't even have the control over what's being discussed, something like that. How like we have our access to third places are like limited or like controlled, something like that. Yeah, I think it was a video. If you had everyone who had 24/7 recordings of their screens stored, it'd be like a treasure trove of spyware. Yeah, passwords, everything. And also like something that I would worry about is like blackmail style stuff. Good morning. Hi, hello. Good morning. Good to you too. Yeah, because like I have stuff that I would not like sharing on my computer. And like sometimes you look at old photos, you go through videos, and if it's being recorded, I mean, it's already sometimes in the cloud already. Yeah. Hello. Don't launch into a time-consuming, costly parameter search if you have something that beats the baseline on our own dataset. Once you have good enough model, I'm like, yeah, life is great, and there are way too many problems, but they're not like problems of like having a home, having food. Like these are real problems. Those are also obviously problems. Privacy is a problem, but like right now I'm doing well. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a problem. It is a problem. It's just I don't know what to do about it. Yeah. I bet there are like privacy, because like there are organizations for everything. If you search for privacy on Project for Awesome, would there be like something that is at least advocating for privacy? Yes, if we have a good enough model, we can tweak it, try launching 8,000 runs with different hyperparameters. Oh yeah, like smaller sets with different hyperparameters. That's fun. Compare a couple of runs with different values for one hyperparameter to get an idea of like go up, go down, what to do. And like, yeah, it has to be you tweak one hyperparameter at a time. If you are tweaking the model itself, keep it simple. Don't try anything you can't reasonably justify. Okay, without a reason of a doubt. Don't speak privately. near any type of electronic device. The funny thing is like, it's like, oh no, if I'm looking at my phone, there's the front camera, it's looking at me. Let me put it on its back, and then there's a bigger camera. EFF? I do not know what's EFF. Oh, thank you. Electronic Frontier Foundation, the leading nonprofit defeating digital privacy, free speech, and innovation. Ooh, nice. I had not heard of those people. Yeah. You know what? Let's go live in a cabin. Do you guys know about the American guy who lived in Alaska for a lot of time? I love watching he documented his life. He was like a vlogger in the 70s, or was it earlier 50s? I'm gonna Google it just to show you guys, to have something to look at. It is so beautiful. I forgot his name, but I'm gonna find it. It's Richard something, I think. American, I'm gonna just say living in Alaska. In Alaska, and then in a cabin. He creates the cabin himself. Like those primitive people. Yes. This is the guy's name. He is paste search. Like I would have loved to be his friend, but then I would bother him because he doesn't want to be near people. Yes. Oh wait, what? Is that the name? Yeah, I guess you got you basically got the name near enough. Pronoke, something like that. 60s, 70s. Yeah. He died surprisingly early, 86 years old. Like he lived a beautiful life, and the cabin is still a thing you can visit. Like he documents creating the cabin. He documents, I don't know, like everything. And he's just an amazing guy. He has cameras, and he does, yeah, not way off, just off enough by a little bit. Mark Zuckerberg preparing for that with his underground bunker baker on an island paradise. And the island is stolen from the people that probably already live there. I know some story about Mark buying islands for cheap, basically. Yeah. He is extremely cool because like he writes his diaries and then he does voiceover and he's doing a recording from angles. The man was a vlogger. Yeah. Because like he has to set up the camera and then do the thing, right? We know how vlogging works. Yeah. Because I'm very sure he was alone most of the time. And then he gets like food delivered to him sometimes. I mean, he does make his own food. He creates this chimney once. Like there are a few, like this is a 30-minute video. But there are a few documentaries. There they are. Yeah. I'm very sure I've seen everything that's available created by this guy. Yes. I'm gonna put his name in the chat in case someone wants to watch a really calming video. Because he's smart. Like he's like, look at this animal doing this thing. And he's recording it. Look at this bird. He's documenting the wildlife. Yeah. So every person who does computer for a living has this dream of going in. Yeah, hunting, fishing, yes, everything. He does that. I don't know if he had a garden. I know he has a refrigerator. That's another house because it's always cold in Alaska. And it's like at a really high place, so other animals can't reach it. And yeah, it's beautiful. Honestly, highly recommend. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm talking too long, but if I buy, because it really is like a dream of everybody who does computers to live somewhere far away from people, but not too far away. Bears. There is a part about bears and a mother bear and him trying not to bother them. I remember that hazily. I don't want to live far away from people where if something happens to me, I can't get to a hospital, but I also want to live far away enough from people. Yeah. And yeah. When I do get land, inshallah, someday, I still don't, because like it has to be in a village-ish area, but not too close to people. Yeah, be a vegetarian. I mean, pescatarian. I like fish. Still go Starlink. The thing is, my only problem is, what if I just drop? It's not like I call someone and I'm not feeling well. No, I just drop down, like heart attack or something. Something like that. Because obviously you need to have people that check up on you at least once a day to make sure that you're alive. And I do have those people. It's called family. So yeah. And when you don't pick up the phone, you're like, oh, someone go check up on that person. Like that. Can you tell that I've thought about it? And yes, the garden and chickens, egg, all of those things. Easy enough-ish. I think I could manage. And obviously, I'd still do work on a computer. I'd still need the Starlink. And then all of our data will go to Elon Musk. Woo woo. That was a full circle moment, wasn't it? Yes. Oh wow, we're done. We're done here. Make sure to go back to the overfitting test. Okay. So we haven't any unintended consequences. And then we can ask for help in the forums. Additional resources. Reproducibly as a vehicle for engineering best practices. I like saying vehicle sometimes. Checklist for debugging. Ooh, that's fun. Unit testing. I don't even do unit testing on normal code. If I do it on machine learning code. A recipe for training. These are really beautiful links that I'm too lazy to go through, but wow. Not every problem you encounter when training neural nets is your own fault. Oh, I thought everything is my fault. If you encounter something in the transformers or dataset library that does not seem right, you may have encountered a bug. You should definitely tell us about it. We must have the data of the happy people, happy of the grid people. Probably. That was probably one of the things on the presentation. How to write good issue. What is a good issue? I'll watch the video. Because I don't need to, but I'll watch it. So when you encounter something that doesn't seem right with one of the HuggingFace libraries, you should definitely let us know so we can fix it. Any other open source library, yes. If you're not completely certain if the bug is your code or the library, check the forums. Community will help you figure this out, and the HuggingFace team can closely watch. Oh, the people watch the discussion there. That's nice. Okay. Playing this video.
How to write a good issue on GitHub. GitHub is the main place for the HuggingFace open source library, and you should always go there to report a bug or ask for a new feature. For more general questions or to debug your own code, use the forums. See the video link below. It's very important to write good issues, as it will help the bug you uncovered be fixed in no time. For this video, we've created a version of transformers with a bug. You can install it by executing this command in a notebook, remove the exclamation mark to execute it in a terminal. In this version, the following example fails. The error is rather cryptic and does not seem to come from anything in our code, so it seems we have a bug to report. The first thing to do in this case is to try to find the smallest amount of code possible that reproduces the bug. In our case, inspecting the traceback, we see the failure happens inside the pipeline function when it calls autotokenizer.fromPretrained. Using the debugger, we find the values passed to that method and can thus create a small sample of code that hopefully generates the same error. It's very important to go through this step, as you may realize the error was on your side and not a bug in the library, but it also will make it easier for the maintainers to fix your problem. Here we can play around a bit more with this code and notice the error happens for different checkpoints, and not just this one, and that it disappears when we use useFast equals false inside our tokenizer call. The important part is to have something that does not depend on any external files or data. Try to replace your data by fake values if you can't share it. With all of this done, we are ready to start writing our issue. Click on the button next to Bug Report, and you will discover that there is a template to fill. It will only take you a couple of minutes. The first thing is to properly name your issue. Don't pick a title that is too vague. Then, you have to fill your environment information. There is a command provided by the Transformers library to do this. Just execute it in your notebook or in a terminal and copy-paste the results. There are 2 last questions to fill manually, to which the answers are no and no in our case. Next, we need to determine who to tag. There is a full list of usernames in the template. Since our issue has to do with tokenizers, we pick the maintainer associated with them. There is no point tagging more than 3 people. They will redirect you to the right person if you made a mistake. Next, we have to give the information necessary to reproduce the bug. We paste our sample and put it between 2 lines with 3 backticks so that it's formatted properly. We also paste the full traceback, still between 2 lines of 3 backticks. Lastly, we can add any additional information about what we try to debug the issue at hand. With all of this, you should expect an answer to your issue pretty fast and hopefully a quick fix. Note that all the advice in this video applies for almost every open source project.
Nice. Thank you. Right, create a minimal reproducible example. Filling out issue template. Okay, they have a issue template. Include environment information. Agreed. Yeah, I have asked questions on Stack Overflow. Tagging people? Don't. Wait, do? Really? I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't tag people. That is rather annoying. Make sure that include a reproducible example. Yeah, like a smaller version. Good? Why good? Describe the expected behavior. Oh yeah, like this is the error, but I want to get this. And then what? I guess wait. And other people could answer. Next. Yay, we made it through this. Oh, they're working on a 3rd part. Yeah, which is actually, I don't know what is part 2. Where is part 2, but this part is being worked on. You should be able to tackle a range of NLP tasks, fine-tune or pre-train a model. Don't forget to share the results. We can't wait to see it. Awesome. Thank you. Don't apologize. Oh my God. I know it's really late on your side. Thank you for being here. Loved the chat. Thank you for helping me debug my issues and worrying about the world. Please rest well and forget about the world for a bit, because you need to take care of yourself as well. Thank you for being here. See you next time, inshallah. Yeah, probably tomorrow, if you're available. Quiz time. Do I remember anything? In which order should we read Python traceback? From bottom to top. Okay. What is a minimal reproducible example? Simple implementation of a transformer architecture from a research article? I mean, sure, but no. Compact and self-contained block of code that can run without external dependencies? Yes. Screenshot? Nope. Notebook that contains your whole analysis? Nope. Suppose you can run the following code, which throws an error. It is the import. There's probably transformers GPT-3 for sequence classification. Does this exist? Does this even exist? Which of the following might be, good title. Thank you, bye. Import title. Why problem with? I mean, this is pretty good. Yeah. I don't, why can't I import? You're not saying from where, I suppose. Is that the only one? Okay, sure. Oh, this one is all? Really? Okay. I guess you don't just dump your code in the title, I suppose. Suppose you've tried to run trainer.train and faced with a cryptic error, but doesn't tell you exactly where the error is coming from. Which of the following is the first place you should look for errors in the training pipeline? Evaluate? Oh, dataset, obviously. Evaluate, yes. I'm guessing everywhere. Does it say first? If it says first, data. Yeah, thank you. What is the best way to debug CUDA error? Post error, no. Execute the same code on CPU. Yeah, I agree. Read it. Find out what is the cause. Yeah, you said debug. I suppose, yeah, read it as well. Reduce the batch size. That's also true. Oh yeah, restarting Jupyter kernel, but okay, just, yeah, execute it on CPU. What is the best way to get an issue on GitHub fixed? Tag people. Ask every day for an update, exactly. Post a full reproducible example of the bug, inspect the source code around the bug, try to find the reason. Post the results. Ooh, that is both of them I agree with. Thank you. Why is overfitting to one batch usually a good debugging technique? It isn't. Yes, it is. Allows us to verify to, yeah, the shape. I'd say the shape stuff. Really? Reduce the loss to 0? Huh. Cool. Okay. Why is it a good idea to include details on your compute environment with transformers, CLI inv when creating an issue? So that people can recreate it. It allows maintainers to understand which version of the library you're using. It allows maintainers to know whether you're running it on where, and also all of them. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. Yay. I will, inshallah. Whoa, it's so early. We finished pretty early. Do we start introduction to Gradio? I love Gradio. Whoa, I know both of those people. Should we start this introduction to Gradio? I don't want to. Because, yeah. Oh, wow, I literally forgot that we would watch this sometimes. I forgot. We can do this. Is stream bad? I saw something red just now, and now it's green. I was like, oh my god, we finished here. What should we do? I forgot that sometimes we would go here. Yes, tool use and LM agent basics. This is lecture 15. And it is 2 months old, which is very recent. Should I do a refresh just in case?
Understanding?
Yes, okay. And ask for a higher. All right. We can see the screen. I'm gonna play this. This will inshallah be for tomorrow. And play.
Is really important. The agent needs to understand, in order for the agent to understand the environment, it needs tools to access the environment, like in the last section. It needs a representation of the environment and methods for holistic understanding and exploration. And there's a bunch of ways we represent environments. The first way we do it is just through text. So this works for things like a text game. So this is an example from ElfWorld. It also might work.
Should I go back just a bit? Oh, okay. All right.
So that's one big part of agents, giving them access to some variety of tools. Are there any questions here for discussion? Okay. So next, I'd like to go into environment representation. So environment understanding is really important. The agent needs to understand, in order for the agent to understand the environment, it needs tools to access the environment, like in the last section. It needs a representation of the environment and methods for holistic understanding and exploration. And there's a bunch of ways we represent environments. The first way we do it is just through text. So this works for things like a text game. So this is an example from ElfWorld. It also might work for like an iterative RAG-based question answering system where like just every time you provide new information through RAG and you iterate over it, you get more information until you're confident in the result. So text is very, very common as a representation. Another environment representation is images. So I already gave this example of touchdown, but this is a case where you're navigating in the real world and you don't have access to any text. It's just images. You're just walking around in the real world. This is all you're able to use. There's a number of problems with image representations, though. So in order to perform well as an agent, the details matter a lot. And to be honest, I feel like image understanding is far behind textual understanding in terms of understanding all the details of like images, videos, other things like this. And just to give one example, OCR, character recognition in transcription doesn't work perfectly. Grounding over complex layouts also doesn't work perfectly. And it's especially bad in open source models. The closed source models are actually kind of okay at this. But open source models had been very far behind for a long time, and they would not be able to recognize the text in web pages. They would not be able to select the correct buttons. We just recently...
Okay. So I never thought of text as environment representation, but it makes a lot of sense because I always thought that it's just images.
On
like video is basically images.
Monday, or no, sorry, Friday. Friday or so, released a paper where we trained a model on lots and lots of web pages to try to make this a little bit better. And I assume that like OpenAI and Anthropic and other places like this are also doing very, similar things. But basically what we did here is we took advantage of the fact that web pages, we know the underlying representation of the web page. And that is something that language models can actually process quite well. It's like a web page HTML. They do a pretty good job. Like OCR is not a problem because you already know the characters and they do a pretty good job of understanding it. But we can then go and render an image that's relatively hard for an open source model to understand. So what we do is we generated a whole bunch of auxiliary tasks from this. And so then we can take the image and we can predict, we can answer questions, or we can take the image and say something like, I have labeled bright IDs for some HTML elements in the website. Tell me which one I should click to complete this instruction. Learn about the animal of the day. And then...
Cool. This is going to be really, really, really useful to people who have like vision related issues or stuff like that. Like sometimes accessibility is like, okay, this is for people who need it. And then you realize how useful it is. For example, audiobooks used to be an accessibility thing, and now everybody uses them because it's just fun. And like, I suppose even subtitles could be like an accessibility thing. especially for like people who don't speak the language. But like English subtitles on an English thing, yeah, I use that a lot, like even right now. Yes, it's because he goes away from the mic sometimes, but yeah, it's not always easy to understand what someone is saying. I wish real life had subtitles.
It would text C. And all of these can be generated from text-based language models by just looking at the HTML. So that allows us to create, essentially infinite training data for these sorts of understanding things. And we demonstrate that this works a lot better. So again, like I do think that the closed source models were maybe already doing something like this, but this is an example of how you can improve understanding of images. Cool. Another variety of environment representation that's used for web navigation is either directly, so you can use screenshots, but they have their problems, as I mentioned before. You can also use HTML, like web page HTML. But the problem with HTML is very verbose. So you'll throw it into a language model and you'll use up your token limit. You'll run out of context and stuff like this. So there's two ways that people resolve this. The first way that people...
Oh yeah, representing a chess board game could likely be represented in text. Yeah, I think I've seen examples of people playing chess with ChatGPT by telling it where the like starting positions and then next position, stuff like that. You're right. Like even sometimes you want a problem to be solved and you explaining the problem is basically like environment representation of like, this is where we are, right? Yeah, anything can be environment representation. Cool. Because like most previously like text games, what are they called? You know, the games where you play with text, adventure games are basically that. Books are environment representation. Whoa, I just learned a new word and I'm trying to match to my understanding of the world.
People resolve this is there's actually something called the accessibility tree. And this is used in screen readers for people with vision impairments, basically. And so the idea is this has taken out all of the kind of verbosity and complexity in the HTML and kind of condensed it down to like the smallest possible amount of information to still fully understand the whole web page. But this can still be verbose, especially for really big web pages. So another thing that has been done further, I actually don't have the reference on here, but it's done in a paper called Mind to Web, is you can actually predict which parts of the web page are relevant based on the current intent. So you can further filter it down and filter down to only the relevant parts. So this is used pretty widely as well if you want to use like a text-based language model for web page understanding. There's another, and this was done in a paper called Web Arena that we did. There's another paper called Visual Web Arena, and in Visual Web Arena, they used visual representations to understand web pages, also C app and others. But actually, they found that using the screenshot and the accessibility tree at the same time, using both of them as input was kind of superior to using just...
That's fair, like explaining it and showing it.
The screenshots as well. So this is still having the textual representation can be pretty helpful for most language models.
Language models start with text, so yeah.
One thing I'd like to point out is this also applies to other varieties of documents, so like PDFs, whatever else you want to use as well, because you can usually get the text directly from them. Finally, another important kind of advance that's used pretty widely in these models is something called set of marks. And set of marks is...
How many marks are there? Do you number stuff?
Where they basically do some variety of object recognition, and then they mark each object with a number. So if it's like, you know, I want to go to this chair. There's 2 chairs in here, so it will say, I want to go to chair 6. And this, for things like GPT-4o, this is actually pretty easy. And for web pages, they also do set of marks over web pages where all of the interactable elements are like surrounded by a box, and then you put a number next to it. And that's how web pages are generally represented visually when you want to interact with them.
Cool.
Another thing that you can do, and there was a recent paper from Ohio State, and also the Anthropic demo that just came out today does this, is you can just say, I want to click on this pixel. Like this, I want to interact with this pixel. You can do that, but
You think so? Books being environment representations of profound thing. It felt profound to me, so I said it. I wanted to share the knowledge, and you have received it. Please think about it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think just expression is like, in a way, environment representation of like, this is how I feel at this time. Here, take it and you do this. Like, whether it's art as in like visual art or poems or books. Can vlogs be environment representation? Yes, they can be. To me, everything is environment. Like I said, I just learned the word environment representation, so I'm trying to link it to as many things. Because it actually helps with remembering the thing. That's like an advice my mom would give me when I was little and trying to memorize stuff. She's like, link it to this. See? Wow, it sounds more familiar now.
My general experience has been that this is pretty hard to get to work. It's much easier if you have something like the set of marks because there's less room for error, like your action space is smaller and stuff like that. So that's another alternative way of taking actions here. Cool. So this was environment representation. Any things that people would like to follow up?
Okay. Checking time. Should we go forward another, because how long did we start here? Environment representation was like 7 minutes ago. And then understanding could go for, exploration. Exploration is different from understanding, right? Could go for another 10 minutes. I could do another 10 minutes, I hope. Let's try.
So I'll go next to environment understanding. So this is a really big challenge. Like what I would say is this is really important. Environment representation, getting good models that can like take in an image and understand it well. Good models that can take in accessibility tree and understand it well. This is still a very big problem, especially in open source, but even in the closed models. But I would say that this is more unsolved. And models, at the moment, models don't know everything about the environments they interact with. And there's some knowledge that's included in LLM parameters. So for example, things like coding, LLMs know a lot about coding. They also know about things like navigating popular websites. They might have a small amount of common sense about like, I don't know, a McDonald's menu or something like this, like world knowledge that's useful in agents.
Cool. I want to get to the point where we can find tricks like that for LLM. Oh, wow. Linking information? Huh. Like tricks to help learn concepts. I feel like an LLM now. That, I'm sure people are working on it. But maybe we'll... You know what? I've been listening to the Super Intelligent book, and I don't know when is the last update, but I'm in the section where it talks about how it could happen. And I cannot help but think about, even though it's talking about representation of brain most of the time, I think, but you cannot help but think about language models when he's talking about AI. So yeah, like saying how, when we get the hardware down, or when we get like it calls it the seed model, which is basically the base model, down, then optimization starts. Like, it is so very, very sorry, I'm writing the word intelligent and my brain went, it's very intelligent. It's very like relevant. Super Intelligence, that book. Someone recommended it to me and I just didn't feel like reading it. Okay, so it's 2014. And then I started it, and because like the first part was very like, here's how we copy the brain, and now it's talking about how to develop super intelligence. Yeah, I guess the version I have could be 2014, and it's so relevant. I'm like, dude, how can you predict the future so well? Basically. Wait, why do I know who Nick Bostrom is? Do I know him of anything else? The name is super familiar. Or is it because like I heard the audiobook say by Nick Bostrom? Interesting. He should be like really happy about how much information. Philosopher. Wow. Oh wow, there's a new book, 2024. Honestly, I don't mind hearing more from what the guy has to say. Because I'm liking the super intelligent book that I'm listening to, and not like taking note. I'm not reading it seriously, because there are books that I'm like, I need to read this seriously, and there are books I'm like, I'm gonna just listen to it as if someone is telling me a story.
You or something like this, like world knowledge that's useful in agents, but much of the knowledge about the environments needs to be discovered on the fly or provided in some way to them. And so if we talk about all the environments, we're talking about like navigating Amazon.
I'll stop pausing this, but I also was listening to a podcast called Oologies by Ali Ward, that was talking about memory, and talking about like what is it called? Neurons. There we go, brain cells. And so yeah, like tips and tricks of learning stuff is obviously relevant memory wise and LM wise, or like neural networks wise, because neural networks are basically trying to copy what the brain is doing. And the guy was saying like there are thousands, like I don't know if it's hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands, I'm not sure, of like synapse stuff, like when neurons talk to each other. And he was like, it's really difficult to study it because you have to study it one at a time. And I was like, why aren't they giving it to like machine learning algorithms? I'm very sure someone is doing that, but that was the first thing my brain went to. Because yeah, like the protein folding problem is basically solved, and Nobel Prize was won for that. So neural understanding time. Let's do this, people. Ya Allah, let's do this.
Navigating an Amazon webpage or something like this. How well do language models know how to do this? The answer is they don't know how to do this very well. And a very big failure mode of agents is that they end up just like going to the wrong page to solve a problem or something like that on a website, for instance. So one way that people overcome this is by just manually crafting prompts to do a really good job in the environments that the agents are tasked with. So just to give one example, there's this paper STEP that has very good results on Web Arena, which is a web navigation benchmark. But basically what they did was they created a whole bunch of prompts that could be used at appropriate times when they want to solve particular tasks. So I know this is small, so I can read it, but it says, please, when you want to search issues on GitLab, this is the search issues policy on GitLab. It says, please follow these instructions. Navigate to the issues page. Once you are in the issues page, you must first navigate to all issues so that you see both open and closed issues for solving the objective. You may not see all issues listed at once. Use the search bar to search for appropriate keywords and filter down to the relevant set of issues. If the objective says to open ... issue, check if it is X. You must first open it. So you get the idea. It's very, very detailed instructions.
It's like telling someone who cannot see how to walk a path. Like, it is extremely detailed.
About how to do a specific thing on a specific website, GitLab. So this raised the accuracy from 15% to 35%. So it's very effective. But the problem is, like,
15 to 35? Wow.
what if you wanted to do a different website?
Artificial neurals where we'd study brain. Yep, that's what help. I forgot his. I keep nope. I keep forgetting his name. The Canadian researcher. Help. Father of machine learning. Anyway, idea of like neurons. Yes, very inspired by the brain. Yeah, you're right. Spiking neural nets attempts more realistic simulation with spike trains. Cool. And MLP is the yes. Yeah, you're right. Even like the Nobel Prize was like, here's an attempt at recreation of brain that resulted in this technology being born, basically. Yeah. Thank you, Jeffrey Hinton. Oh my God, I have such a bad. And even in that podcast about memory, they were talking about it's on the tip of my tongue sort of problem. Sometimes it happens.
That's, it's not going to generalize very well. I can give another real world example too. So the coding agent that I am developing and I'm going to talk about before.
Ooh.
We're using the coding agent to improve the coding agent. And so in order to do that, we want instructions about how to navigate this repository. So for this repository, we have information about like general setup. This is what you need to do to set it up. This is where the backend is located. This is where the front end is located, and other stuff like this. So if you provide this information, like the agent, even if it hasn't ever been trained on this repository or know things about it, it kind of gets a general idea of where to go. And these can be added through prompts, et cetera, and things. Cool. So that's one thing.
That's one thing? Meaning I can end the stream now? I think I will. Unsupervised induction of prompts. Agent workflow memory. Nice. Okay, I am going to copy this time, paste it in the URL so that we can start there.
So that's one thing.
Yes, next time. Awesome. We did well. We did really well. Thank you. We're going to start Gradio tomorrow. If everything goes well, it's going to be fun. Building your first demo. We have Colab. Awesome. I've worked with Gradio before, so let's see how bad I am at remembering what I've done. Yeah, this was fun. Someone tell me that this was fun. We have been streaming for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Awesome. So, reminder that we that Project for Awesome video voting is still open. You can vote for whoever you want, but like, do vote, please. And it's 1 vote per device, so you could steal your family's device to vote more. But like with permission. yeah, we had a nice, oh, sorry. We had a nice debugging session today and some learning along the way. But yeah, it's the debugging is the friends we made along the way. The HDMI cables. Thank you, Coffee, for being here. I hope you have a lovely Friday. It's Friday. And yes. Today, yeah, it's a nice day. I have some reading I need to do, so that's the thing that's on my mind. I'm like, I need to finish those readings before the deadline, which is in like probably 12 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna do that on my own time and not take you guys' time with me. I tried to doing that yesterday, and I failed miserably because the stream kept ending. Okay. Yes, inshallah, normal stream tomorrow, and then hopefully my current working schedule, like a schedule that is working for me, it has been weekend streams as normal, and it is Friday. Wait, you didn't know that? And Wednesdays, Mondays and Wednesdays, study co-working / study stream, evening time for me. So yeah, like the times are like 12 hours apart. Yeah, basically. Might buy yourself chocolate for Valentine's Day. Why not? I'm sure Saint Valentine's favorite food was chocolate. I mean, I don't think I have access to chocolate right now. You know what? I literally just had muffins with chocolate chips on them, and I'm saying I don't have access to chocolate. Yeah, why not? I love chocolate as well. I wish you a lovely Friday, full-ish moon day, I guess. And for those who care about Valentine's Day, why not? Have fun. Might be Thursday, place like this. Probably. Yeah. But like a few hours away from Friday, basically. Yeah, so I suppose, because I know people who have different weekends than me will probably still have days that are not weekends, so I cannot say happy weekend, but happy almost weekend, I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream with a countdown of 5. If there is anything, let me know. Thank you for being here, and see you next time if you feel like it. If not, that is cool. Life happens. Ending the stream now. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a lovely day. And please do note that you don't always have to be here, because, yeah, sometimes you have to show up for yourself instead of for others. Whoa, that was profound as well. Okay, ending the stream with a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, and